The marble floor beneath your bare feet felt cold, but not as cold as the man you once married out of force. John Jungkook, your husband, your captor, now your protector, your lover, though neither of you dared to use that word. It had taken nearly a year of silent wars, broken dishes, sleepless nights, and walls filled with screams. But somewhere between the scars and apologies, between his clenched fist and your stubborn fire, something shifted. Now you were almost a real couple. He held you in his sleep, he touched your stomach with soft fingers, whispering things to the child you both created in a night filled with more pain than love. But it happened, and somehow it became the most beautiful thing between you two. "Baby's kicking," you said one morning, grabbing Jungkook's hand as his tired eyes softened. He looked at you like he was seeing the moon for the first time. Then it felt like everything is about to shatter. You heard the news from Namjoon. Jungkook's ex was back, the woman he once loved, the woman who left him. It all started when you found her standing in your home when you returned from your parental appointment, tall, elegant, smiling. Jungkook, you went, dragging out the last syllables like a pouty child. You promised me strawberry cheesecake, ice cream, and now my soul is literally dying. He chuckled, one hand gently resting on your lower back as he guided you through the front door of the penthouse. Your soul? Really? You nodded dramatically, shifting the brown paper bag of parental vitamins in your hands. Yes, and your child agrees. He kicked me twice in protest. He leaned down as you both stepped into the hallway, voice lowering like a secret. "I'll feed you the whole tub with my hands if you stop being dramatic." You gasped playfully, "Deal, but only if you use that silver spoon I like." "Boss a little," he started to say, but then he stopped. Everything stopped. You blinked, confused by the sudden tension that stripped off his body. His jaw clenched, his eyes narrowed, his steps faltered. "Jungkook," you asked softly, your hands instinctively brushing over your belly. "What is it?" You turned your head to follow his line of sight. Your smile dropped, and then your heart nearly stopped. There she was, standing in your living room, tall, effortlessly beautiful, her arms crossed like she owned the place, her presence bold, her scent expensive, her eyes confident. Mina, perched elegantly on your velvet couch, legs crossed like she belonged there, hair glossy, makeup flawless, posture poised. She looked like a damn perfume commercial. "I was wondering when you would come home," she said, smiling sweetly. "It's been a year, hasn't it, Jungkook?" Your mouth went dry. You didn't recognize the woman, but you know who she was. You knew without even needing to ask. The woman who taught your husband how to hate, the woman who taught him how to build walls, the woman who ruined him, then walked away. And now she was in your home. "I let myself in," she said casually, eyes flickering to you, then back to Jungkook. "Still had the code, surprisingly, though I am guessing that will change soon." He didn't move, he didn't speak, he just stared. Your heart dropped, your hand instinctively covered your belly. You could hear the blood rushing in your ears. The weight of the moment settled like a storm cloud. You shifted your hands to your belly on instinct, protective. "What are you doing here?" Jungkook's voice was low, cold, controlled, but barely. Mina took a step forward, a smile playing on her lips. "I missed you, Jungkook," she said, voice honeyed with nostalgia, and Jungkook froze. The tension in the room was unbearable. Your breath caught in your throat as you watched Jungkook step away from you, his eyes finally locking on to the woman who once owned his heart. "Why are you here, Mina?" he asked again coldly, sounded more like a warning. She tilted her head, fake sweetness dripping off her lips. "I heard you got married. I thought I would congratulate you in person." She paused, eyes narrowing, and she must be your lips parted, but before you could speak, Jungkook moved. His hand slid tightly around your wrist. Not gently, not comfortingly, but protectively, possessively. He stepped in front of you just a bit like a shield. His voice, when it came, was low, rough, cold. She's my wife. Mina's smile faltered just for a second, but she recovered quickly, eyes flickering down to your belly. I see. Congratulations are in order. She carrying your child, she said, tilting her head. Though I never thought you would settle for someone like her. Your jaw clenched, but before you could say a word, Jungkook snapped. Watch your mouth. She's my wife. You don't get to speak about her like that. His voice was ice, sharp enough to cut steel. Mina laughed, stepping closer, ignoring you completely. She's carrying your child, Jungkook. Your child. Don't you think that's moving too fast? Maybe you did all this because you wanted to forget me? You felt your throat tighten, your hands instinctively wrapped around your belly. You should have felt insecure, should have felt small. But then you looked up. Jungkook wasn't looking at her, he was looking at you. Yes, I did. I forced her to marry me. He growled. You think I deserve her? I don't. But she stayed, even when I broke her in ways you never could understand. His jaw was clenched, yes, but his eyes were soft, lashed with something you would only see a handful of times in your ear together. Fear, fear that you would misunderstand, that you would be hurt, that you would think he still meant something. You flinched, but then his next word melted something in your chest. She gave me something you never did, forgiveness. She fought me, hated me, and still she is here, and she is carrying my child. Don't you dare compare what I had with you to what I have with her. Mina's smile faded. So this is really it? She whispered. You have changed. Jungkook stepped back beside you, gently placing a hand on your belly. You felt his fingers tremble. I didn't change, he said quietly. She changed me. You looked at him, eyes wide. He didn't look at you, but his grip on your waist tightened. Mina's eyes hardened. You will regret this, Jungkook. He didn't flinch. I already regret you. Mina didn't move. She just stared at Jungkook, her perfectly painted lips curling into a bitter smile. Oh, so now you're blaming me. She scoffed. After everything, you are still so blind, Jungkook. You think she's some angel that healed you? She's a placeholder, just like you were one. You tensed, but Jungkook, he didn't even blink. I left because you were never a man. Mina hissed. You were a tickling bomb. Cold, distant, always obsessed with power. You couldn't even tell me you loved me without sounding like a damn CEO pitching a deal. He stepped forward, and for a second you thought he might break. But instead he laughed, low, dark, empty. No, Mina, you didn't leave because I wasn't a man. You left because I wasn't a bank account that bled when you smiled. Mina's expression cracked. You never wanted love, he said, voice low, venom last in every syllable. You wanted a luxury lifestyle. You wanted a mafia king who would found your designer taste and shut up about your flings. I wasn't that man. Oh, please, he snapped. Don't act like you didn't chase me. You begged me to stay. And I hate myself for it. He cut in, deadly calm, because I begged someone who only saw me as a wallet in a suit. Silence slammed the room. You stood there, hand on your belly, breathing shallow. Jungkook glanced at you, and for once you saw guilt in his eyes, not because of Mina, because you had heard it all, his past, his pain. Mina's voice turned soft again, manipulative. He's not going to give you peace, Jungkook. You think he loves you? You think he won't leave you too when he sees who you really are? Jungkook took a deep breath and with proud chuckle he said, he already knows who I am and yet she stayed. Then he looked you in the eyes and now I don't need peace, Mina. I just want her. With Jungkook's confession, the tension in the room had become unbearable, the air thick with unspoken words and history that neither of you could escape. Mina's face twisted with contempt, her eyes narrowing as she took a step closer, locking her gaze with Jungkook's. You think this is over, don't you? Mina hissed, her voice dripping with malice. You think you have won? You think she is going to stay till the end, huh? Jungkook's jaw tightened, his fist clenched at his sides. What the hell are you talking about? Nina smirked, her lips curling into a cold, calculating grin. You have never been good enough for me, Jungkook, and now you think you were good enough for her? She glanced at you, her voice dripping with disdain. You think you have changed? You are still the same man who couldn't keep me. She took a step forward to you. You'll regret this. You will regret marrying someone who can't even compare to what we had. You'll see, Jungkook, everything you have built with her will crumble, and when it does, you'll have no one but yourself to blame. The words cut deep, but it was her next words that made your blood boil. You'll never have peace. You'll never be happy. You'll ruin her like you ruined me. Nina's voice dropped to a whisper. I curse you, Jungkook. I curse you to ruin her, to make her hate you like I did. You'll never be able to keep her. She'll leave, and you'll be left with nothing but your lies. The words were poison, and before you could stop yourself, the rage inside you erupted. "Stop it, you shameless!" you shouted, your voice sharp enough to cut through the tension. "You think you can just curse him and get away with it? You think you can ruin our life with your pathetic jealousy and bitterness?" Mina's eyes widened, her smile faltering for a split second. "Excuse me?" She scoffed, but you ignored as you marched towards her, furious. Every word you spoke laced with venom. You were the one who ruined everything between you and him. You were the one who left him, shattered him into pieces, and now you're here trying to destroy what little peace we have. Nina's face twisted in anger, her breath hitching as if she couldn't comprehend your audacity. Mind your words, Mrs. John. You should have minded your before cursing my husband with your filthy mouth. But you know what? You are a shameless, selfish, manipulative, and you're jealous because he's moved on from the hell you left him in. You don't get to curse him or us just because you can't stand seeing him happy without you. You think you have won, don't you? You think you can just replace me in his life? Replace you with a scoff stepping closer. No, sweetheart, I am not a replacement. I am the very air my husband breathes. I am his present, his future, the peace you never gave him. So don't flatter yourself thinking you are still relevant. Jungkook stood there, frozen, watching as the words flew between you and Nina like daggers. His fists were still clenched at his sides, but there was something in his eyes now, a shift, a weight lifted. Nina's eyes burned into yours, her voice shaking with venom. You tilted your head, your voice now laced with ice. What? Did that sting? Truth usually does. You mocked, staring at her, jaw clenched, your heart pounding, not with fear but fury, not for what she said now, but for everything she had caused then. You took a slow breath, stepping towards her with a fire in your eyes. Standing here, spitting venom, pretending you still matter, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what I feel for you. Because you're the reason my marriage started with cold walls and silence. You're the reason he looked at me like I was the enemy of our wedding night. You are the reason I cried myself to sleep in a bed that never felt like mine. You pointed at her, your voice rising raw with emotion. You broke him, Nina. You shattered him and left him to rot in the dark. And when he finally started healing with me, you came crawling back, trying to rip that away. Her expression flickered. Please don't think yourself that high almighty. You're just a face, a convenient thing who got knocked up and stuck. Jungkook stepped beside you now, jaw clenched, protective heat rolling off him. Don't you dare talk to her like that. Oh, you find your voice now. She stepped closer to Jungkook, lip curled. You think this love will last? She'll see what I saw. The anger, the darkness, she'll leave too. No, I won't, because unlike you, I don't abandon people I love. You're just like me. You'll grow tired of him. His demons will burn you. I have danced with his demons and hugged them to sleep. I know every scar, every dark corner, and still I love him. Not despite them, but because I have seen him rise from them. Ina blinked, her smirk gone, replaced by a look you couldn't quite read. Maybe regret, maybe rage. He will regret this, mark my words, because I was his first love. He will never love you like that. First love? You mean first heartbreak? Let's not romanticize the trauma you left behind. While you were busy pretending he would wait for you forever, you laughed coldly. I held him when he was breaking, when he flinched at love, when he didn't even believe he deserved happiness. You gave him scars, I gave him reason to heal. So don't talk to me about phases or love because what we have is stronger than anything you have ever given. It's you who choose to walk away from this. So don't came here playing victim, acting like you have any right to destroy his future because as long as I am beside him, that's never going to happen. And one day he'll push you to. She spat the venom with her face burning in fury, eyes wild as if on the verge of doing something reckless. You really think you weren't irreplaceable, Nina? Believe me, you were forgettable. A painful chapter he closed long ago, so don't confuse his silence with affection. It's pity. The only thing he feels when he sees you now is disgust. Nina flinched just for a second, but then her rage flared right back. She stepped forward, eyes wide, lips curling. You think you can talk to me like that? She hissed. You think just because you're playing house with my him, Nina's eyes filled with rage, and before anyone could react, she lifted her hand, aiming a slap towards you. You little. Your hand flew up to your belly protectively as she raised her arm. A slap. That's what she wanted to deliver, but it never landed. But Jungkook was faster. As a loud click echoed, "Lower it," Jungkook said. His voice was itself. You and Mina both froze, because there he stood, furious eyes and his pointed directly at her forehead, not trembling, not bluffing, cold, serious. "Jungkook," she whispered, stumbling back half a step, her arms dropped on instinct. "You raise your hands on my wife again," he said slowly, his tone like a razor across her skin, "and I'll forget every ounce of mercy left in me." You stared at him, heart hammering, not out of fear, but shock. He would never ever pulled in front of you. Not like this, not for you. Mina's lower lip trembled. You would do this to me for her? He stepped closer, the barrel still trained over her. "I won't need to. Just one call and they will never find you." Then he tilted his head slightly. "But if you so much as look at her the wrong way again," he didn't finish. He didn't need to. Mina swallowed, just having. "You're insane. We're both insane." You stepped up beside Jungkook, hand still on your stomach, voice calm but sharp. "No, Mina, we are protecting our family. Something you never understood." Mina's lips parted, but before she could speak, Jungkook cut her off. His voice was a low growl. "Enough, Mina. Get out now." Mina's eyes burned with fury as he glared at both of you. "You'll regret this, all of it." With that, Mina turned and bolted out of the room, her heels echoing down the hallway before slamming the door behind her. For a moment, all you could hear was your own heartbeat. Then Jungkook slowly lowered the sliding it back into his waistband. His shoulders were still tense, breathing heavy, but when he turned to you, his expression cracked. "You okay?" You nodded slowly, eyes locked on his. "And you?" He exhaled through his nose. "I wasn't until you called yourself my family." The rush of emotion overwhelmed you, and your knees buckled the moment he pulled you into his chest. Tears burst from your eyes like a flood. All the anger, fear, and shock came crashing down at once as you clutched his shirt in your fist and sobbed. "I have got you," he murmured, voice low, protective, shaking. "I have got you, baby. I have got you." That was all it took. "I wasn't scared for me," you cried, hiccuping against his chest. "I was scared she would hurt our baby, Jungkook. If something happened to the baby, I know," he whispered, pulling you even tighter. "I know, love. You were so strong, so damn strong. You couldn't stop the hiccup between the sobs. You were crying too hard, too fast. Breathe, baby," he whispered, brushing your hair back. "Hey, look at me." He looked up, lips quivering, eyes wet, and he kissed you. Not rough, not rushed, a soft, crowning kiss that silenced the world. His lips moved slowly against yours, firm yet gentle, one hand cradling your neck, and the other played across your lower back protectively. He couldn't bear the thought of even a silver of space between your bodies, and just when you finally started to calm, Cake, you crawled softly into his mouth. What? He gasped, eyes wide in overwhelmed shock. He felt it, right against Jungkook's stomach, because you were completely pressed against him, belly to abs, and your little one had something to say. That's, he whispered, voice cracking, that's our baby. You noted tears falling freely again, but this time they weren't from fear. Smiled, and so did he. Through the tears, through the chaos, through the kiss. He felt us, he whispered. He's telling us he is okay. Jungkook leaned his forehead against yours, still cupping your belly. He's strong, just like his mother. A second kick, even firmer. His eyes widened. What? He blinked, then leaned back slightly, hand automatically moving to your bum. Did he just? You nodded slowly, then grinned. He kicked you. Jungkook started laughing, really laughing. The sound cracked through the tension like sunlight after a storm. He's angry or excited, or my child is already threatening me just like their mother. He's telling you to stop making her cry. You mumbled, still sniffling slightly. He chuckled, kissing your forehead, then your nose. Message received, little one, Jungkook said, speaking directly to your belly, now nuzzling into it. Appa sorry, he'll do better. Then he looked up at you again, his smile softer now, his lips touched yours in a kiss, so tender it made your toes curl. He kicked you. Do you realize how special that is? Between kisses, you whispered. He nodded, pressing his lips over you. He knows I needed it. He's protecting me just like me. The baby kicked again, this time gentler, as if saying yes. And right there, curled up in your husband's arms, his lips pushing yours, his hand wrapped around the life growing inside you, you finally felt safe. Maybe the world would still throw its worst at you, but you had each other. And that was everything.